Hello guys, Griffin Endurance here. Welcome back to Endurance. This is just a very quick video, just because I need to ask for some help. But before I do that, look at all the little things. It's got ice cubes. That's meant to be water. It's not the most convincing water, really. But it looks okay. It looks okay. We've got stuff there. And we're starting to see that all of the food is making its way into the cabinets. Look at that, nice full food cabinets. So that's looking really good. But that's not what we're here for. Those of you should remember, most of you will probably be aware of this little Federation news service thing that is on the wall. It basically contains some of the stuff. When I was working on my single player mod Freelance, I basically wrote an entire history past the last Star Trek film, Nemesis. That's the latest into the Star Trek universe in terms of the timeline that we've ever gotten. Freelance was based 10 years after Nemesis, and I wrote an entire sort of extended universe, which I know quite well because I had to do a hell of a lot of it because it was a massive universe. And basically this just contains some little snippets from there. But what I would like to do is I'm going to be changing the textures, and basically I'm going to want an audio track to go along with it. And that audio track is going to be a news service. It's going to be a news presenter, a news anchor, speaking the news and going through the news, and at the same time we'll also have clips from like primarily political stuff. There's also going to be a little speech from Admiral Janeway as well, which I already have prepared and sorted, but I do need some people to do some voice acting. You don't need to be an actor. This is only a bit of fun, you know. We're not looking for Academy Award winning acting here, this is a bit of fun. This is an opportunity to have a bit of fun and a bit of a laugh. Okay, a lot of people won't submit going, oh, I can't act. I can't act for shit. But, you know, it doesn't stop me from trying sometimes. I'm just thinking of some of the recordings I've done. Sometimes people are a little bit embarrassed and they don't want to give it their all, and oh, I can't act. You don't know until you try and someone goes, you're actually pretty good. When you're doing silly little voices and you're being a different character and stuff, you might think, oh my god, that's embarrassing and stuff like that. But all kids are capable of doing it. Kids play pretend all the time, and acting in a way is an extension of lying. You're just pretending to be in a circumstance or pretending to be in a particular situation. Everyone's capable of it to a certain extent. How good it is how it varies. But I would certainly like everyone who's got the balls and a microphone to submit an entry, because I'd like to get some of your voices on this audio clip. There are 4 characters that I'm going to need. The first one is going to be the actual news anchor themselves. The second one is going to be an Andorian politician. The third one is going to be a Cardassian politician, and the fourth and final one is going to be a Klingon politician. Now, when I was doing the voice acting applications for Freelance, I always included Klingon dialogue to the people that applied, because Klingon dialogue is the hardest. So I'm not expecting it to be too good. I mean, mine's pretty crap, and at least I've given it a go, I suppose. But I'm not. If someone can do a really good Klingon, they'll become my new best friend, because there's a couple of other things that I'll get into after this. We'll just get this out of the way first. But yeah, they'll become my new best friend. So what I thought I would do to ease the tension is, some people won't want to record any dialogue and stuff, or even try out for anything, so like, oh crap, it'd be embarrassing. I've recorded some dialogue. It's not the actual dialogue that will be recorded, it's just some dialogue that kind of gets across the traits and the emotional states of the characters that you would be playing in this, because it's just clips of political news, basically. Speeches, arguments, stuff like that. So I've recorded kind of my interpretation. I've got some little segments of scripts which I'll put in the description of the video for you to kind of read and do your own recordings from, and then send to me. And I'm going to play them so you can see how bad I am, so you don't feel so embarrassed sending me your stuff. So it's kind of me being just a bit friendly here. Now I'm going to have to bring down the menu because it's actually in Audacity in the background. This is going to be quite embarrassing. So the first one is the news anchor person. Okay, so the news anchor dialogue goes, in other news, 12 people have been killed, many others injured. Starts with that. Okay, now basically the news anchor is it's the easiest dialogue. I've done them in order of the easiest ones to do, because we've all watched the news. You're just reading a script and accentuating the words. You're just, it's a radio voice. You're just commentating. You're just saying the words, but you're not doing it monotone. You're varying your voice, and it's quite easy. Making sure to pronounce quite well, so you're easily understandable. So I'm going to play that one, and you can hear that one. You'll probably see the menu down here, because I'm going to have to go into the background to Audacity. But I will play my take on this dialogue, and like I said, all dialogue will be listed in the description below. Okay, so this is the news anchor. In other news, 12 people have been killed and many others injured after a freak mining accident in the Bolaris system. A mining team was running routine maintenance on a retired deuterium well when it unexpectedly ignited. The authorities have launched an investigation to find out the cause, but believe it could have been caused by metal fatigue in the containment valves. Easy. It's not a particularly difficult one. It's kind of what I do with my videos anyway. It's just you got to accentuate your voice most of the time and just go, "Hello, how are you? Good to see you. Isn't this splendid?" So that's the first one. The second one is a little bit more interesting. It is a Andorian ambassador. Now, I would like the Andorian ambassador actually to be female, but I know from my own demographics that's probably unlikely. But I kind of have in my eyes Andorian. So how does an Andorian speak? Well, generally speaking, Andorians, they speak, especially when you look back at the original series, well pronounced most of the time, quite well pronounced. Shran wasn't so much, he was a bit more common, but quite well pronounced. And they tend to have this continuing tone. They're not monotone, but like this calm, they're suspicious. They're a very suspicious people, and they have this kind of calm tone that goes throughout their voice. And the best way to describe it is like a politician giving a sorry speech or something, or making an appeal. And in this case, it's going to be exactly that. A little bit of emotion in there. So I'm just going to play this one, which is the Andorian. And you can see kind of the main things you'll pick up on is my English being a little bit better. Speaking like what I do. "Hello mate, how's it going? I'm, Southern normal, Southern common. Right mate, want to go down for a cheeky Nando's?" I'm very Southern, so I've been speaking very professionally and very clearly, with a nice clear English accent, accentuating every single syllable to make sure that it is understandable. And that's very typical of Andorians, so I will play you their clip of dialogue. "I stand by my recommendation to the Federation Council. If we continue along this course of action, we may find that conflict is unavoidable. I plead to the Council to reconsider its position and ask that every Federation citizen come forward and protest this injustice." So, relatively simple. You can hear that kind of continuing tone. It's not varying too much. It's kind of like he's talking like this with this continuous tone. That's kind of Andorian, very, very Andorian in their sort of speech patterns. The next one, we come on to Cardassian. Now, this is getting harder. It gets harder with each one. Cardassian's quite funny. I do like Cardassian. Cardassian is smug arrogance. It is all about "we're better than you," sarcasm. "Oh, aren't we the greatest thing ever?" Lots of sarcasm, lots of gesturing, pointless gesturing. But again, quite often, with quite a few of the Cardassians, they speak quite well as well. Probably a side effect of the universal translator. So there's a bit of that speaking. It's very similar to Andorian, but it's much more varied and sarcastic. So you'll hear sort of the same sort of pronunciations, very precise, but at the same time you'll hear this sarcasm and this smug arrogance. At least hopefully my acting's shit, so hopefully it won't, you'll get some of that coming across anyway. So this is the Cardassian dialogue, okay? "That does not explain why the Klingons are unable to even acknowledge their involvement in the incident. We have irrefutable evidence that the Klingon Empire knew more than they were willing to share with their so-called allies. Even the Great Federation were, kept in the dark. The Cardassian government has always been forthcoming with its allies, a trait that it seems the Klingons do not share." So that's all right, I suppose. You can hear the arrogance, you can hear the smugness, the good pronunciation of Cardassian, you can hear how they're very precise and we're better than everyone, almost like, you know, posh people. Oh, hello, yes, we're better than everyone else. Jolly good show there, you know. Very, very. Why am I doing voices? The next one is going to make me crease myself. Okay, Klingon. Klingon is a challenge for two reasons. Okay, the Klingons. Every Klingon actor who played a Klingon had false teeth put in, like vampire fangs that you get over Halloween. Yeah, false teeth. That means that when they do their acting, they can't pronounce words the same way, in the same way that the Ferengi always had kind of a lisp or something. There's always that element there, and you have to recreate that in your voice. Everyone who trialled for Klingons when I was doing freelance, I took one look at it and went, "You're not even trying." I've gone all out, and I sound like a twat, but at least I've gone all out. My inspiration came from General Martok, and if anyone could do a really good General Martok impression, I would make it General Martok. I'm going to tailor-make the script for the new service once I've got the submissions in, so I can sort of use your strengths and do it to that. If someone does a really good Martok impression, that'd be awesome. But Martok is the current Chancellor of the Klingon Empire, and he has this croaky, deep voice. Obsessively deep, but kind of very croaky. He's kind of Worf, you know, kind of croaky down. Hello, Worf. Get your dick out of my mouth, Worf. He's kind of like that, yeah. And the accentuation that they get on the words are things like Empire. You wouldn't say Empire or, you know, Klingon Empire. You'd go Empire. Yeah, it's very. They've got something in there. I've got something in my mouth. It's very much like that, and no one even tried that on the freelance one. They shouted and they did everything, and it's like, you're not doing it. Put some teeth in. You've got to really accentuate that gut bellowing effect of Klingons. I reckon if I pitch shifted mine, I could probably be passable, but I'd like someone else to do it, just because I don't want to have my own voice. Everything else is made by me. It's an opportunity for you guys to do something. I'm going to probably crease myself because this is the most embarrassing one. I'm giving it my all. My neighbours are probably thinking, what the fuck is going on in my house at the moment? But I gave it my all. When you look at the waveform, I am basically shouting. Klingons are like that. They bellow, they shout, they're aggressive. And hopefully you'll enjoy this one. So I'm going to play this. This is the Klingon response to that last Cardassian one. The Klingon Empire will not stand for this clear attempt at deception by the Cardassians. We have always been honest with our Federation brothers and sisters, and we will do what it takes to protect their interests and ours, for the glory of the Klingon Empire and the Federation. Comply! That's fucking awesome. I love it. I love Klingons so much. And that's what I'm like when I'm fucking playing STO on Klingons. I'm literally going like, fire weapons! For the glory of the Empire! I'm literally going mental. Literally going mental when I play STO. Obviously everyone did it on Star Trek Legacy whenever I played this clip. Was it that one that had the really good Klingon music? It was, yeah. That was really good. It was like, battle stations! I'm screaming at the screen playing it. I do love Klingons. I do. So that's me making an arse out of myself, so you won't feel so bad when you submit your shit. So what I'd like you to do is, in the description is all of this dialogue. You can copy and paste it into Notepad or whatever and recreate this dialogue in your own way. I'd appreciate it if everyone, you know, did every one instead of just applying for one particular one. The first one's really easy, the last one's really difficult. So it just shows you sort of kind of your range and stuff, and it's a bit of fun. You get to be on the map. I will play it on one of the videos next time I update. I will play the audio clip or whatnot when I've got it all sorted, and I'll be doing a bit of filtering, maybe some pitch changing and some reverb and stuff, because they're in like a Senate and it's mainly political news, and so they'll be arguing with one another, and yeah, so hopefully you've had a good old laugh out of that, and yeah, back in the game now. Oh my god. So hopefully you can get something out of that. The other thing is, I'm actually thinking of doing a game that ties in to the endurance pack, a little mini game. The reason I still make stuff for RPGX is because I still use Radiant in other capacities. I can walk out this corridor now. This is obviously the endurance hallway, if I can get past this thing. This is the endurance hallway. I can show you a clip of a little game test thing that I did with this corridor where I'm going down as an R2-D2, and it's like a isometric view. I'm trying to, at some point in the future, would love to make a isometric RPG. Old school 2D isometric-y stuff, yeah. I absolutely love it. I love pre-rendered backgrounds. I loved them in Resident Evil. I loved them in things like, you had the Commandos game, Commandos 2, if you remember that. Same sort of thing, pre-rendered backgrounds, stuff like old RTS games like Age of Empires, and Fallout, the original Fallout. So I love that old school style. And I've designed my own. I want to make obviously a commercial game, because my ultimate dream would be to release a commercial game, an indie game, charge a few quid for it. It's compatible with Android, it goes on an Android phone, and you would be able to get a bit of money from that, which would be able to fund me to be an indie developer. That would be my ultimate dream. But after freelance kind of dying, which essentially became a standalone game by the end, I realised that I basically have to be capable of doing all of the work myself, because I can't, not being mean, I can't rely on a team, because teams come and go, especially when they're not getting paid for it. I suppose I probably could pay people to do stuff, but I ain't got the money at the moment. So I need to be able to do it all myself, and at the moment I'm struggling with animation, which is one of the reasons why, we go back in here, it would be really handy if I could do this M-class planet with this animation-y stuff, because it would be a great learning curve for me, and it would look great for you guys to play. So yeah, I'm very much so I got all these concepts. I did this thing with this Dalek in this warehouse where I was kind of testing out the isometric controls, got really funky menu, and then I've done some animation. I made a character model of just like a guy in his underpants and he's running around a warehouse and putting out a gun and shooting things, and it's something I very much want to do in the future. I've got concept art for ships and for bits of robots and corridors and stuff. I've got a lot of stuff planned. I've got my own little sci-fi universe where I've written a story, and it's quite good. I'm really quite chuffed with some of it, but until I can do all of the work myself, I'm not going to even consider working on it. But I could do a game using like resources from here. I'm sure I could animate one of these basic models. They're not too difficult, should be able to animate them, and I could just do like a little tie-in game where you walk around, and maybe like a point and click adventure. So I might do that in the future, and if there's any good voice actors out there, I might put you towards that as well. So that could be useful. Maybe you'll hear from me in the future and go, do you want some lines of dialogue? So yeah, hopefully some of you guys will apply. I'm going to be changing the screens here, and I'm going to tailor make the script for those who apply. So give it your best. You've heard me, now it's my turn to hear you. Come on, it's a bit of fun. Enjoy it. Even if you sound like a complete twat, do it. It's all a bit of fun. You know, just let yourself go, have a bit of fun, man. And yeah, that's my little request at the moment. I'm trying to think of the best way to submit it. I'll put an email up on the screen now to submit it, and it'll be in the description. All the information will be in there. Just record some samples, zip them up, send them to me, or you can send me a personal message or whatnot on YouTube. I don't know if you can have attachments on that, or maybe you could upload it to a file place and I could download it from there. Whatever, just send me these clips through email or through personal messages, and I'll have a little look and maybe have a little job for you to do in the future, just to add a little bit to this map. So that would be awesome. So have fun, guys. Cheers.